All right, what's going on, everybody? My name is Will. You are listening to or watching the Nothing But Net podcast on Will's World, and I'm here joined by the Millbrook High School NCHSAA 4A state basketball champions. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for doing the thing. Y'all got it done.
Yep.
Silas, we'll get to your strip in a little bit, man. I got chills. I don't know if it's because we're doing this or if it's because it was the cleanest rip I've ever seen, but regardless. So real quick, we're just going to go through, before we do that, big thank you to Miss King, Coach East, and Coach Davis for helping me set this up. Also, thank you to you guys for coming. You guys didn't have to do this. It's a Monday afternoon in April. You guys go to school. But you guys got plenty of stuff. I mean, Eric's coming from workout. Eric went to a workout a couple weeks ago, and we had to reschedule. Mainly because of me, but a little bit because Eric was on a flight and ended up, dude, you getting on that flight, I did not want to do this. A week ago where I was, I did not want to do this. You're like, yeah, I'm going to be on a flight. I was like, oh, really? I was like, okay, hey, D, we can't do this. He was like, what? I was like, oh. Anyways, thank you to everyone who helped make this happen. And I'm not doing the whole like and subscribe thing. I don't care if you do any of that. This is really for me. This is for these guys. Congrats, y'all. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. We'll start with Red. Just say name, year.
Yeah, so I'm Red Dunton. I was a senior this past year at Millbrook. I'm going to be going to Purdue Fort Wayne next year to play, and yeah, that's me.
Eric Vanderheiden. Going to Ole Miss next year.
Silas Demary Jr. A junior.
Chris Daniels, number 10, 2021. Senior.
Chris has got a pretty solid voice over there. I liked that. That was good. All right, so I slacked and I didn't look at this beforehand, but we'll go through and I'll just kick it off with this. This is just the kickoff question. I was telling them a little bit while I was setting up what Millbrook is to me. Red's like, yo, what the heck are you doing here? Why are you here? But Chris, I'll start with you. 4 years at Millbrook. What is Millbrook basketball to you? Like, what do you think? You hear Millbrook basketball. What's Millbrook basketball to you?
It's a tough program, really a culture. Just a bunch of guys, ready to play at all times, giving it everything they got.
Silas, what is Millbrook basketball to you?
It's a family, bunch of guys that's always willing to work, always gonna have your back. So just a family.
I mean, for me, like, I want to say the family thing, but since you already said it, I mean, it's like my brothers for me. People like I'm really developing with, getting better with, and like going to battle every day with. So.
No, I mean, even from the outside looking in, before I was here, like, you could just feel the culture. Even when you played here, like, as a rival or any of that, like you said, it is what you see, and it's really a family, and I felt that from day one. So.
Yeah, and I mean, you were talking about it. I didn't think about this. You played here not in a Millbrook jersey. Eric, I don't think you ever did with Ravenscroft.
I played against Millbrook.
But not here.
But not here.
Not here, not with fans. That's the deal. You got to see that last year, being able to put on the jersey with the Maniacs. What is it like playing against, like, when you come into Millbrook, like, what is your coach, what is Heritage's coach? What are they telling you?
I mean, it's something you look forward to, especially like the situation we were in where it was kind of considered a rivalry for a little bit. So, I mean, you come in and, like, you kind of know what to expect with the crowd. Obviously, one of the best fan bases in the student section probably in North Carolina. Probably being one of the better players on the team out of that when I wasn't here. Like, you felt it from everybody. Like, you walk into the gym and, like, you're kind of like a target. So I like the hostile environment of it. So it was cool. I liked it a lot.
Chris, what's the next step for you? School, basketball. What's next?
Definitely looking to play in college. Undecided right now. Just keeping all my options.
Are you doing like AAU? You working out with anyone?
A lot of working out.
Yeah.
In AAU this year.
I mean, it's funny. My brother and I'm not sure. Do you remember Tristan Gentile?
I heard the
Vaguely,
name.
yeah. He played freshman team. I mean, it must have been during the holiday invitational last year. You like really started to fit into the team. You'd come in. I remember for some reason in my head, I'm like, okay, this dude coming in like the third quarter. Obviously he played in the first and second for that. But like third quarter, you know, maybe we're in foul trouble. Maybe some other guards aren't playing well. They need a break, or we need guard play because we didn't have a true point guard. And you just come up and you're hitting mid-range J's, and they're just automatic. And my brother, I'm like, dude, Chris he just pulls up and hits middies like nothing. And then of course Silas this year stole that from you. But anyways, how'd you get to that point where you're just so confident? You just stop on a dime, pull up. What type of work were you putting in freshman, sophomore year to get ready for senior year?
Just staying the course, always working out, staying in the gym. These guys know the same thing that I know. So, yeah, just having confidence in your shot.
Silas, you said you were a junior, but you recently tweeted that you were in the class of 2023. So, sophomore?
Yeah.
Why reclass?
So I started getting a lot of looks, but like a lot of people from class of 21 were becoming 22, so it was like ruining like the chance of me getting offers. So I feel like me getting the extra year will give colleges more time to look at me and observe who I am.
I think it's a smart move with COVID and everything that's been going on. And I was even talking to Eric about it. The scholarships and who's on what teams is really weird right now. It's a really unfortunate time to be a senior going in to college to try and play sports. I'm a sport management major. I was telling Red. So scholarships is just weird right now. So that makes sense. What would your dream school be? Like let's take away all. Let's take it all away. Like you could say Duke. What's your dream school? Where'd you grow up? Like when you're in the driveway hooping, where are you imagining taking the last second shot for?
UNC.
UNC?
Yeah.
Even without Roy now?
Yeah.
I love me some Hubert. I don't know. Did Hubert ever recruit you?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
he's the man. Eric, I'll come to you next then. Why Ole Miss?
I mean, for me, after decommitting from Louisville, Ole Miss was the first team really to bigger school to give me the offer way back in junior year.
Yeah, I remember they were one of the first. Yeah,
John Wall invitation was 2 minutes into the game, and they were like, "We want him." And so, I mean, right from the beginning, I felt the love.
Yeah.
Really, the coaching staff absolutely amazing. I mean, everything about them, great guys. So, I mean, after I decommitted, first team to call me up again.
Wow.
So literally like 10 minutes, I think, after I posted it, they called me up and they're saying, "Yeah, we still really want you." So
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's why.
And then first Zoom call, I got on with them, committed right away.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. That just speaks to what Ole Miss has got going. Good luck to you. We'll be cheering for you, obviously. What's your goal over the next four years at Ole Miss?
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to develop as much as I can. Really put Ole Miss back on like the map and really try to make a tournament run. That's me. I was talking to Deshaun Ruffin about it, and our goal is really just to get far in that tournament. And I mean, hopefully down the road, make it to the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, you got the talent, you got the size to be able to do it, so that's not a question. But that's cool. I think a March Madness run, I think that's kind of a dream of any college hooper, really. Red, Eric, whatever they call you. When did you first start getting called Red?
So actually, this is an interesting story. When I was a little kid, my parents named me Redford with the intent that my nickname would be Ford. But big brother, Dow, I'll shout him out, he always called me Red, and I mean, it just stuck.
Hey, that works.
That's crazy.
So, just correct me, it's Purdue, Fort Worth.
Wayne.
I was going to say Wayne. I was like, you know what, I'm going to just Purdue, Fort Wayne. Now, when you look on high school OT, you had other Division I maybe offers?
Yeah, LD1.
Why Purdue, Fort Wayne?
Just relationship, fit-wise, it all made sense. I actually have a good buddy there named Jared Godfrey, who I grew up with in Georgia, and he kind of made the whole distance thing, it being 10.5 hours away, like really easy and made me feel comfortable. And then obviously the opportunity to go there and kind of, make an impact right away attracts me. So I want to go up there and I just want to go win some ball games.
Dude, totally understand that. What's your goal over the next 4 years? I'm assuming it's similar to Eric. You guys, I mean, all four of you guys work hard. You don't win a state championship without working hard. Especially, I don't have all your numbers because it's a lot of numbers to keep up with, but you guys each balled out this year. I mean, each of you in your own respective ways literally just tore it up. But like for you, what specifically? What's your goal over the next 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, as a team, like, the ultimate goal is to, get to the NCAA tournament, want to play a game or two up there, and really want to win a few, not more than one, but a few Horizon League championships. Really be a winner, kind of make it known that, like, I'm a good player in the league, whether it be win freshman of the year in the conference or, win a conference award or anything like that. So a lot of individual and team stuff that I want to do when I'm up there. So I'm looking forward to it.
Silas, what level do you think you can play at? Like in college, like high D1, like Duke UNC. What do you think?
High. So I got like a lot of confidence in myself. And
where's the confidence come from? What part of your game are you like most confident in that like you could step on the court and play at that level?
Just getting to the rim because like I feel like I'm strong enough. Like even though I'm getting stronger, I feel like I'm strong enough to get to the basket whenever I want to. So yeah, just getting to the basket.
Yeah. Chris, what's one thing that you've learned from playing at Millbrook, playing under Coach Davis, playing with Division I talents, and not even just these guys. I mean, Will, Nolan, the guys, I mean, everyone that we were talking about before. Like, I mean, you guys all said it's a family. This program is unique. There's just talent among talent. What have you learned from some of those guys who are more talented?
Just always how to work hard and stay in the gym. I know I can play with, anybody out here. And it's just about knowing that. And even when times are tough, they still rock it with you just to make sure you're not in your own head.
Do you have like a memory, Silas, I guess for you too, is there like a moment or a memory from like a moment when like Chris got his jersey retired? Is there a moment that like sticks out to you or a cool story from one of the past players?
I remember there's one before I got here and there was one when I was here. The one before I got here, I came in here, I think they played Inlow with Chris.
Off the backboard?
Yeah. That one.
Oh yeah, that one too. I remember that.
That one, and then just the atmosphere of being at Leesville last year, the last game, the playoff game. A lot of people there.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty crazy game. Eric, what was that rivalry like for you? Two high-level Division I recruits, you and Carter, going head-to-head in a crosstown rivalry, really passionate students and fans. Like, what was that like for you?
Yeah, it was like the moments that we played like on the same court and shared like the fans and the atmosphere is some of the best games like I've been a part of because you can't ask for anything more. Packed student sessions, packed stands, like really good like close games all the way through. Like even the first game that we won, it was close to the end.
Y'all were down.
Yeah, we were down. We came back. Like those are the games you won. And then really the playoff game when we all saw it, stuff didn't go our way and we ended up losing. But I mean, it was close all the way to the end.
Yeah, the ball doesn't always roll your way. Got really unlucky having to play at Leesville. I mean, me personally, I think if that's here, we could go down that road for hours and hours. Red, what was it like before you even really transferred here, before COVID happened? What is it like for you watching those types of teams, like playing head to head, knowing that I guess Heritage isn't in the Cap 7, but like in my head, I'm thinking Cap 8. Heritage is a local team. Like when you think about basketball in Raleigh and Wake County, you think Heritage, Leesville, Millbrook. I know those aren't like obviously there's Gardner and there's other teams, but like what is it like for you watching those games?
It's funny because like even when I was at Heritage, it was kind of like you would go on high school OT or wherever they were streaming the game, Hoop State Network, and like try and like watch the stream of the game.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
I mean, you paid attention whether you were there or not. Like guys planning to go up to Broad to watch the conference tournament championship. Like whether you're on the team or not, like it's something you think about because they're both really high level programs in Raleigh, and it's exciting.
Nice, state champions. closest game you guys really played the entire regular season was the Cap 7 championship game. I think it was against Broughton. Maybe not. That could be totally wrong. What was whatever the last against Broughton? It was 86-67. That's the closest game. No, I mean, okay, closest game of the season.
Sanderson?
I would say it was Middle Creek. Sanderson, you beat the snot out of them.
I mean, we weren't really like no disrespect to Middle Creek, but like,
we kind of walked out there
Yeah,
knowing we were gonna win.
because it was their senior night. We was like, I mean, we're Millbrook.
We started that.
Like no disrespect or anything, but
Dude,
that's just how we carry ourselves.
yeah, you have to. Red, what was it like being injured for the first little bit of the season?
I mean, it was frustrating, but I think if you ask me on the team, like, I was never out the picture. Like,
Never, man. You watch any
Every highlight is in the picture.
exactly. What was that movie right there?
He was like every time with the boot in the air.
I'll get to your dance moves in a little bit, man. I don't know how those have not been. I don't know how no one has put that anywhere.
no, I was in your mixtape though.
Yeah, it was in my
it was
mixtape, yeah.
For like a second, like I could watch you do that for hours, man. So hype. Not in the weird. Never mind. That was kind of weird. All right, so you really didn't have any competition until the playoffs. And in the first round, you just absolutely smoked Newbern. And then you play against Fuquay.
We play first round.
Newbern.
Oh.
89-43. Yeah, Silas balled out. Wait, no, Eric, you did play. See, Eric scores 15 points. It's like, I didn't even play. Because he's averaging like, I don't know, 18 a game. Whatever. So Fuquay, that was OT game. No, it wasn't. It was 86-82. It was the final.
almost OT.
But it was a close game.
Yeah.
You play your first close game of the season. What's like the team mindset after that? It's like, okay, that was only the second round. Like, where you guys at?
I mean,
We weren't
really too worried. Cause
I wasn't. Yeah, we weren't too worried. I hadn't arguably the worst game of my Millbrook career in that game. So I feel like as a team,
Actually,
we can win without me playing.
Max Prep says you shot 0%.
That's true. No, that's
that is true.
I had 6 shots.
He hit them last 3 free throws in a row.
I hit the free throws to win the game, and that was it. And think about that. Like, we can win without. Like,
The best player on the team.
they can win.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to
Yeah.
play for them to still win.
Yeah.
And I feel like that just solidifies us that more. Like, thinking, like, if we go into these next rounds and one of us is off, we can still
I mean,
win.
the three
other three gonna
dudes
pick
sitting
us
next to you each scored over 20.
Yeah, exactly.
I think another thing is like,
I could have sat that game, and I think we still would have won.
another thing is like,
Yeah.
even like watching film of each team we had in playoffs, like, to be honest, we weren't ever really impressed with anybody.
Mm-mm.
And it's like interesting because we played 3 close games, and I mean,
Let's just play.
honestly, I think it was on us more than anything. Like,
Mhm.
those last 3 games we played, like, Apex is kind of different because like
Apex was-
they're gonna run their stuff to the ground and like live and die
True.
by the 3 and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So like that'll sometimes win you ball games, but like,
and dad.
I mean, even watching like just watching everybody on film, you're not really impressed. So like, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like we could keep our confidence just because like we've seen it,
Mm-hmm.
we know what it looked like when it wasn't working, and like we were just a far better team.
What was D's message to y'all throughout the season?
Win.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be specific because like regular season, he wasn't like too locked. I wouldn't say not locked in.
It was more like
but
prepared
wasn't
for
that, yeah,
like the
it was more like
playoffs.
prep for
Yeah.
Because we knew we were gonna win every game just because touching the court.
Yeah.
It's more just like getting to the point where when we go into playoffs, we're ready. We're in play. Like we're trying to be playoff ready the whole time. Just
What was practice like? COVID, throws a curveball in that for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, COVID just really messes that up with preparation.
Yeah.
And it relies a lot on you guys, like, developing yourself, like, working hard on your own time. You know, what is Davis, you know, what's he preaching to you guys? Throughout, like, in practice, how is he preparing y'all in practice?
For
it's
the
the
most
game.
part, like, he always kind of reminded us that, like, we are that good. Like, there was never a moment where we, like, would lack confidence just because, like, he's always there to, like, you know, whether it was a pat on the back and, like, anything like that, just be like, you are this. Like, this ain't a bluff. This ain't throwing a cat out the bag and hoping some. But, like, because, like, we kind of just knew. Like, they've all said, like, this is the year. Like, this is the team. Like, if we're going to do it, like, this is gonna be the year. And like I think that's that constant reminder, like whether it was practice or like before and after a game, kind of kept us going throughout the year.
Yeah, piggybacking off of that, like Coach Davis always preached that we're gonna be the best competition we play all year in practice, just getting up and down. So we really took that, and like some days when me and Red Coach Davis kind of wanted to sit back, and those are the days where like everyone else like had the when they were going full court, it was a dog fight. Like it was. It really, it was by far probably
a lot of trash talk.
Yeah, a whole lot of trash. It was probably the best practices ever when like me and Red didn't play.
Yeah.
Because like everybody's like the same size when they're not playing. Because usually you see like the 5'10" guys getting rebounds when they're not playing. So it's like everybody's like hooping hard.
One thing we do gotta mention, because they didn't ever get the love they deserve. Like the guys who like you really didn't see play a lot, like they made it hard for us.
Yes.
Like there was days where like our talent would outshine them, but then there was days where like
they was getting buckets.
Yeah, if we didn't come to play, like they'll shoot you in the foot, and all of a sudden like we actually like kept the score on the board every day at practice. Like you look up and you realize we're down 10-15 to guys who haven't seen the floor all year, and you kind of got to say thank you to them just because like they push y'all.
And even on the bench when they're not playing, they're supporting us when we are playing. And the guys who did get in the game, like Jarius Bowen, Donaldson especially, because
he came in.
Without his defense, I don't think
without him, you don't win the championship.
Yeah, without his defense, I don't think we're winning that. Yeah.
That's the thing that kind of shocked me watching the season. I've kept up with every Millbrook team for as long as I can remember. Weirdest thing about y'all's team is it's like 6-7 deep. Millbrook teams are like 12 deep usually. Yeah. Like you can literally everyone on the bench can play, will play, and it's not that wasn't the deal with this team. It was just different.
Yeah,
it was.
It was a shorter season.
Yeah,
and like for us, we literally waited over 6-7 months to really play, maybe more, like 8 months.
Yeah.
So
physically, you feel good. You only play 19 games, like rest wise. You don't have to really worry about anything till playoffs. So. And I mean, when you're blowing teams out, you kind of just sit in the fourth quarter. So
you think of Millbrook, and you think of Chris locking someone up full court.
Yeah,
that's what you think about. You think about Eric; he's playing safety in the middle of the court, or he's getting the ball, or Red's getting the ball. I mean, that's just what you think about, and it's crazy because you usually do that with 10, 12 people, and y'all did it with 7. Y'all were in shape. Y'all worked your butts off.
And wearing a mask.
Yeah,
and wearing masks. Don't even forget.
And wearing masks, except for Eric. He got out of that. He had asthma for the first half of the season.
So did Red. Don't forget Red.
One game wonder.
Dude, okay, what happened? Like after Leesville, did Leesville just like, hey, NCHSA?
Nah, so they were like.
Apparently, coaches in Wake County were unhappy with the fact me and Eric were not wearing masks during the game.
Weren't they trying to get like a mandate or something
for
us?
Yeah, then they tried to cover up saying COVID was getting worse.
Yeah,
they tried to make it so we couldn't. Like we had.
No, they did. They ended up getting a mandate, and
they got a mandate for us
to wear a mask. So.
Yeah. And then I had one of the better games of my season, dropping like 32, 15, and 8.
With the mask.
32, 15, and 8.
That's tough. Someone mentioned, I think you mentioned Apex.
Yeah.
After we beat Apex, Red's on the court. He goes,
right.
What was up, man? I mean, was Apex just talking to you? They were in your head, Red.
It goes back to
I'm kidding, but what was the Apex game like?
So it went back to like, I want to say November, December. We played them in like, we were playing in the Hoop State League, like prepping for the season.
Yeah.
And they ended up beating us, and like, it stuck with us the whole year because they were talking trash, and it was like, we all took it personal. So that game
I wasn't playing, so I didn't know about that until like during the season.
Someone's always talking smack. Like it used to be Apex, bro. Before y'all were here, you were in middle school. I mean, all y'all were in middle school. Apex, dude. We lost to Apex in the playoffs. The year after, we go to their place with the Chris, Andrew, Rob team, Trajan, Faison. I mean, literally like everyone. And Andrew comes base on, just hammers one on. Yeah. And I was like, whoa. Someone's always talking smack. So, I mean, that was Apex friendship for you guys. What was that game like? Was that a fun game? Yeah. Were the playoff games fun?
I don't know. The refs in the Apex friendship game were the worst refs I've ever.
Even worse than the state championship game?
Yeah.
Really?
I think those are the worst refs ever.
They were pretty bad. They were bad.
We had some maniacs, too.
They were bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And yeah, I think
Yeah.
That was the first game.
That was the first
And
game.
I can say that now because
Yeah.
I'm leaving. So if we have the refs again sometime, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
no,
not
I don't
doing it.
care.
Those refs sucked.
I mean,
They were terrible.
most high school refs, and you guys all know this, you play high school basketball, most high school refs
Supposedly they were
are,
college refs.
most of them are,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what they told us. And
Nah,
Yeah,
most of them are
that-
horrible.
Some Greensboro
like,
residents.
if you like pull up the film, like he
No, it's
got
bad.
tackled, like full on
Yeah,
tackling.
no, they weren't calling fouls in the paint
Yeah.
that game. It was weird.
Not even on the 3-point line.
Nah, that game. I remember. Like now that you're saying, I remember I was watching that because that was
Punching
on.
us and like
That was like on TV. I was watching that one not through NFHS. I was watching on TV, and I was like, just through the playoffs, y'all were just getting screwed with bad.
And Chris
bad
was about to
refs.
fight some kid. Like it was.
Bro, he pushed
Yo, wait,
Chris.
is that
bro.
Apex game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Apex
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
Oh my
That was
What
that game.
happened?
Nah, I had ripped to the middle.
He pushed you or something like that.
Yeah, he did it he was sneaky with it. I went up, and as I was in the air, he like shoved me in my chest. And I already wasn't rocking with Apex friendship. So
Here's
Exactly.
it. When their coach got that technical, I knew we had won. They
Yeah,
had nothing left
were-
after that. I mean, at that point, they weren't even playing basketball. They were just trying to win the little dog fight, or I call it a puppy fight for a bunch of little kids. But
All right, the Lumberton game. Silas, you'd been balling out the whole playoffs, but that was your coming out party. That was your, hey, I'm actually, like, this ain't a fluke. Silas, you were clutch.
I'm trying to think.
Lumberton was the last game here before
fourth
state
game,
championship.
That was the shooter, like the kid who could shoot.
Yes, bro. But no one could shoot like Silas could that game. Dude, you were hitting everything.
that was great.
I want to look.
Everything's anymore. I don't know.
Y'all aren't really shooting threes, though. That's a weird thing. The weird thing about you guys is, like, you didn't rely on the three, but you guys are good three-point shooters. I'm kidding. You've shown you can shoot.
I mean, during the playoffs, though, the game plan was just kill everyone in the paint.
And that showed.
Yeah, that's-
Which is just weird to me. It's funny hearing that because I'm like, you guys, okay, 6'9", 6'7",
Yeah,
6'6",
7.
7, 6'4". Yeah, you like me, bro.
6 foot.
6 foot.
6 foot.
Like, but it's not a traditional Millbrook size team with Will and Sam where you're not going to get an offensive rebound, and if we want a bucket, we're going to throw it on the block. Like, you guys are big, but you guys are wing
Skilled,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah. So, like, it's interesting hearing that as the mindset, but it makes sense. Like, y'all weren't shooting threes out the gym, but the real guy to shout out is CJ.
Yeah.
CJ was huge.
You gonna grab a rebound.
So I ain't got the rebound.
He was
Some
insane.
games, me and CJ both had double-digit rebounds. And like, that
I
was
mean,
it.
it's
Ain't gonna let
crazy.
you hear about it.
Without him, you don't get any offensive rebounds because I'll move to one of the best Millbrook games I've ever seen. Okay, we need to just absolutely. Anybody got a shotgun? And we could just, that light. That's going to absolutely give someone a seizure.
It's about to turn off a little bit.
I know it's been off for like 5
Used
minutes.
to it.
Chris, did you ever play with the purple lights?
Nah, wait.
I put it here with the
But
I
we
just
all
seen a
seen
picture of
those?
that on Twitter the other day. I was
Dude, man,
I
before
think they fixed them.
y'all
I
don't
think they fixed them right
understand. I used to literally look like Silas. Like, the lights were they're purple. Like, I don't know how they did it. But, anyways. Eric. He was right. So, state championship game. You guys out-rebounded them 6-0 offensive rebounds in the first half, which is weird because they were way bigger than you guys. What was y'all's mentality going into the state championship game? Same thing as Red was saying, but like bigger,
Obviously
obviously,
bigger than that, yeah. But like,
obviously it's like, yo, we're gonna win this. And dude, Red, I was texting him before the game, and I really was like, yo, this dude is gonna jinx it, and I'm never gonna talk to him again. Because I was like, man, get it done. And Red's like, for sure, we gonna get this done. And I was like,
no, on the
okay.
bus, we like planning like what we're gonna do after. Like we're gonna be so like we're gonna be going crazy, and
wow.
and then going to the game. And then going to the game, we're like, bro, we actually gotta win this first.
Yeah.
And then.
Sometimes I was worried we were too confident sometimes.
So what?
I'll say Audrey Kill was the one team that I was kind of
They
like.
were good.
Yeah, I was there. They were like, we were watching them on film. I was like, okay, this is a basketball team.
They had it coming though.
And
They had to
no,
do-
they had it coming,
they had
but
to
they
do-
were
the
good where
coach-
you guys weren't good.
Oh, yeah.
They were
coach
a tough
disrespected
matchup.
us.
Oh yeah, the coach disrespected
coach
us.
disrespected us.
That's true.
Really?
Coach-
Yeah.
Oh wait, during the timeouts, yeah. Man,
No, I'm saying
Nah, it
before
was
the game.
before that. He
Yeah.
went on a little interview with high school T. Yo, he totally disrespected us.
And then he was like, "We're playing Vander
What'd he say?
whatever."
Totally.
Silas, I know you're not soft. You keep saying people
He
disrespect
didn't
you.
even say our names. Like he was
He
like,
said
they
what?
got the Vander Heijden kid and a few other.
No, it's
good
Vander
kids.
whatever and the
Yeah,
other
Vander
and the
whatever
other
and the
players.
other players. So it was like, okay, you're gonna know our names.
Yeah. You good?
Yeah, I'm straight.
All right.
Essentia. It's our sponsor.
Gotta get that bag.
All right, we straight. So I rewatched the championship game this morning when I was in class. I'm not crying because of the championship game. I'm crying because I'm choking to death. And I don't have COVID. I'm vaccinated. Yeah, so I watched it back this morning because I was like, okay, shouldn't have won that game. I knew that because watching the game, I was like, there's no way we win.
Like
The,
late game.
the whole
yeah.
game.
Whole game.
We come out from the start and we're down early.
Yeah, they
And I
did
was like,
13-5.
I was like, yo. And then right as we start coming back, they can just shoot threes. And I'm like, yo. I'm like,
They
we
hit
don't
a lot
shoot
of
threes. I'm like, we're not going to catch them. But let me get straight. So first quarter was horrible. But we were down 6 points with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. And at halftime, we were up 7.
They went on a run.
I mean, crazy run.
That's a Millbrook run.
It was a Millbrook run.
Yeah, we just had to get our footing. 'Cause every single game we have a run where we beat the other team like 20 to something, like 20-5 or something like that.
What do you guys like? What is it like going into the halftime? You're up 7 after you've been down 6. What was like? Do you remember what what Davis's message was?
Man, we were so juiced up, to be honest. Like, our confidence was really through the roof after that. Especially, like you said, we were down. Like, I think Silas said 13-5 at one point.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was-
5 at one point.
I was watching, but I really wasn't. I had my head in a pillow. I was like, frick.
That run started, you don't really look back. And then, like, you kind of come out at halftime, like, 16 minutes and you're a state champion. And
No, even the end of the game, like if you really break it down, they missed 4 free throws
In a row.
in a row.
Bro.
Now, yeah, I'm getting. It's like
Yeah,
that's what I want to
and
get to.
a
Like,
row.
Yeah, and I
we
was
come
fouled
out.
out,
We
so
come
it's
out
like-
10 seconds into the second half. You get your third foul. What are you? Watching you throughout the season, like your mentality in games, like just the maturity of you as a player and how much you've grown, really showed. Like there were games where you were just. I was like, why is he not shooting? And it was just because you're like, I don't have to score. I can pass just as good as I can score, so I'm just gonna give it to other guys. Like your mentality just changes. How does it change for you as a leader? Like when you get your third foul at the start of the second half in a close game against like a game that we need you.
I mean,
What happens?
for me, that third foul was like, okay, well now I need to rely on these guys even more, and like I didn't mind doing that because
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you like trust?
it over and
Why
over.
wouldn't you be able to trust them? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like per player, like I would trust them way more than I trust like the other kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like every position we had them. So I mean, third foul was like whatever.
So skip to the fourth quarter, 6 minutes left. Eric gets his fourth. And then I'm really like, yo, this is it. We're done. Silas will have something different to say. And so, I mean, all three of y'all really. But the biggest thing that I think gets looked over, which is so funny, Eric, obviously, this is not what I was saying is funny. Eric fouls out, 30 seconds left in the game. And then I'm like, really like, yo,
I thought it was
it's,
like a minute left.
I was 34 seconds, you out.
34.
34, you out, man.
I felt like forever.
What's the score?
I have no idea. I probably
were
do.
we down like-
We were down 4.
We're down like 4.
It was like 56 to like 56,
So-
something like that.
Yeah, I missed all that because I was like having PTSD when I was watching it. But all I know is we get the ball with 20 seconds left under the basket, and Red catches it and shoots one of the dumbest shots I've ever seen in my entire life, and it went in. And I was like, yo, what the heck? How? You know, dude,
I'm a bucket.
man just
Yeah,
goes.
Yeah, it was that one on the block.
Yeah,
He
on
just
the
turned
block.
and
I know,
shot
I
it.
was like, yo, I'm literally sitting there on the couch. I'm like,
If
yo,
it makes you feel better, I take shots like that a lot.
good. Because I was sitting there, I'm like, yo, what is he doing? I'm like, this dude jink. But anyways, we take the lead. Yeah, go ahead. But then Adrikel comes down, hits a floater over Silas that definitely should have been an and one. Silas got absolutely blessed by some angels. You absolutely hacked that man. Bro, it was, but anyways, They go up, and then of course we come back down, and of course they foul none other than Silas, and you know who Silas is. We go to overtime. So we're in overtime. What is actually going through your head when it's like, okay, zeros and we're tied? What's actually what?
Like going into overtime,
Going
when
into
I fouled
overtime.
out.
Like you're on the bench, you've been fouled out. Rise, it's like, yo, you need to like be a leader and whatever. Like, what do you like? How are you dealing with that?
Yeah. So I'll just start when I first fouled out. Like I've told them, I was like, I don't know how in the world we're gonna do this now.
I'm right there with you.
We were down for 30 seconds. Even with me in the game, like still like how?
Yeah.
And then somehow we're tied at going into overtime. I'm on the bench. I'm like, what has happened? Like the roller coaster I went on that in that last 6 minutes of that game was just insane. Because going into, I was like, if we would, I was speechless. I was like, I don't know if we can do this, but I think we can. Like it was, I don't know. Every part of it was just like, you can't really, no words really.
Silas, what is it about you that just makes you such a trustworthy player to have the ball on the line?
Well, because I know always growing up, like people told me I had a clutch gene because like I've always came in handy when it's time to like do the dirty work. So I just thinking about that, like just growing up, I had confidence in myself to make all those free throws, and just people telling me like you can do it, and these guys right here telling me to take my time, hit the free throws. Just my brothers having my back, so.
It's cool to be able to interview guys on a Millbrook basketball team because it's just different. It's just different. There's no selfishness. There's no ego. There's no cockiness. And I don't know if this part will make it. Like for Eric, like when Eric came into Millbrook, you knew what Millbrook was, this family. But like, I feel like watching you, like this year, you really like embraced what Millbrook is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really developed as a leader, like this season, and it was really fun to watch. And it was for me watching that game. I'm sitting there, and you're fouled out, and I'm like, how ironic that like Eric can't play right now.
No, so beginning of the season, me and Raj were talking. I'm like, what's gonna happen if I'm out? And we still pulled it off.
Yeah.
That was like a conversation. We talked about it for like an hour. Like, what are we gonna do?
Because it's hard to think. Like when you're a player of your skill, it's hard to think about. Okay, like if I'm not on the court, how are we gonna play? Like, it's hard to think about that. But
I never thought I'd foul out because the whole game, like whole season, I've never gotten really fouled out.
No. I mean, honestly, none of y'all really foul ever.
Yeah.
Like,
I foul a good amount of times.
okay, you and CJ.
Yeah.
But us three,
y'all
usually we don't
y'all
foul.
are just clean. You don't foul. I don't know how, but you don't.
Yeah.
Like you get like 7 blocks a game, don't foul.
Part of it might be because like we
Almost
do it a lot,
four.
so try to like
You have that like kind of mentality of like,
And another thing is like we're playing them like the Cap 7.
That's
So
made them.
I don't have to like foul when I have to block a shot. They're all 5-something.
yeah.
I can put my hands up and throw the ball in my
Yeah.
hand.
Okay, so let's just I want to finish the state championship talk, but off the dome, can you all take Farmville this year?
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay. Here's one thing.
There's no way they're beating us.
There's one thing I don't think people understand. Like, Farmville, all respect, they're a great team.
Different level.
They got players, but like, there really is a fat difference between 2A teams and 4A teams. Like,
I mean, we did beat them
in my opinion,
in the holiday.
Yeah, we did it on the holiday, and that was their best Farmville team I think ever.
Yeah.
Ever, yeah.
And we didn't have no one.
Lumberton might be Farmville.
No one.
That's how bad like,
Really?
the difference between 4A
There's no
and 2A
way, bro.
is.
Maybe T dropped 60 on him.
Yeah, he probably would have 60, but
Okay, I'll never be sarcastic. I'm not like that where I'm like, oh, Farmville. But like, that dude got a weird switch.
if he get hot, like he can play the whole game
and score every possession.
Exactly.
He's been like that since kids, though.
Really?
He's
Nah,
not.
We
He's
really
wired.
bad.
have the guard play though to like work him.
Yeah.
It's them two and Donaldson.
Exactly.
Donaldson will wear him
Yeah,
out.
he's really underrated, but he was a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast on defense.
Yeah.
And he loves his role.
Yeah.
That's all he had to do for us.
To win a
is
state
he-
championship, you have to have someone who loves to play
He
defense.
got that
Yeah.
for like,
He didn't-
like 4 or 5
And that was
years.
Chris last year.
he
Chris last
knew
year
he-
was the guy. He had to come in.
Yeah.
He needed you.
Yeah.
Donaldson knew he didn't need to score.
Yeah.
He was just, and CJ too. Like CJ had
He
his
knew
nice
he
stuff
didn't
when he
have
wanted to
to,
put the
and he
buckets
knew
in,
he
but like,
could when he needed to.
yeah. Sometimes Donaldson made like a good bucket.
So, best team in the state, no doubt.
Yeah. Like I want Combine too.
Yeah, I want to
I
play.
want
For
Combine.
real.
But, like, truthfully, you think you can beat him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't come here, man. Will, you sound like the coach from Audrey Kill trying to
No, I
respect
don't
us
sound.
right
I,
now.
Notice how none of us hesitated.
no,
I-
that, and so for me, I'm like,
from here to the bench down, we all
yes, they
think
can.
guarantee we
Like, no,
yes.
no challenging for me. I'm not skeptical. If like that's the thing for me, I'm like, do you think you can? You guys are all like, yeah. I'm like, nope, they beat them.
We're gonna have a dog fight, but we still gonna come out on top.
Yeah, y'all got heart. Silas, what was it like for you when Eric fouled out?
I was like, okay, one of our primary rebounders are down, so now we all really got to crash the glass
Yeah.
because usually Eric's down there just grabbing the rebound. So I was like, okay, if we don't grab boards, we're gonna lose this game because they had a 6'10",
6'10",
and a 6'8", so I was like,
6'6" and above.
yeah. So I was like, if we don't grab boards, we're not gonna win this game.
Well, thank you guys. Before we wrap this up, tell me down the line what you think is like your most valuable skill that you bring to a team, like Millbrook's team. What's be selfish, toot your horn for a minute, and then tell me the one thing over the next 3 to 4 years, whether you're going to a university right now, probably going to play college ball. I mean, come on now, or obviously this dude right here he has to be and will be a ACC level guard, and if he's not, I'll just start my own ACC team and Silas will be the first pick because I want that dude to dribble the ball. Like, I'm a Carolina fan. Give him the keys. I don't see why not. Dude's got all the patience in the world. He ain't gonna turn the ball over. He's clutch. He can shoot. Okay. Anyways, tell me what skill you think you bring to a team that is your top skill. And then tell me something that you really think in your game you really need to improve on.
Oh,
Nah,
okay.
whichever one of y'all.
We just go down the line this way.
Yeah, well, personally, I'm not too much of a talker, but I feel like when I get on the court, I do what I need to do, and I lead by example.
Lead by example, 100%.
But personally, I feel like I facilitate pretty well. I don't really have to score that much to be an impact, whether it's defense or not. And something I need to work on is, just keeping my shot consistent, just being consistent all around, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair.
I say my main part I think I'm best at is like just talking a lot. Like even like if I don't have the ball, like just being a focal leader, just being able to talk at all times. What I think I could be better on, I mean, just everything I do I can just be better on. Like nothing individual, but just everything I can grow at.
Yeah, for me, I think my best thing that I really brought to Millbrook and hopefully I can bring to Ole Miss is just be able to create plays, not just for myself but for my teammates. Knowing how to operate in situations where reading mismatches, getting my own shot up, reading screens, all that, just really just creating plays. And then something I need to work on really is, I don't know if I want to expose myself, but I have no left. I can put my left hand behind my back and still score my 20.
I want to see Eric succeed at Ole Miss. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
That was humble of you. That was really, that's true.
And I also need to learn how to be less selfless.
Yeah.
I need to be more
Dude,
selfish.
gosh. It's so funny you say that, dude. To me, Red, I'll get to you. I promise. It's so funny you say that because you look back at the Leesville game last year, and I'm like,
There was times where I could easily score and I just
you
didn't
can get
turn
a
it on.
bucket on anyone out here. Literally, you can you're 6'9", you can take them right to the rack and put your fingers on the back of the backboard and just drop the ball in.
And I did the last play and I just realized why didn't I do that?
Yeah.
And
But-
at some points in the game I needed to learn how to just take it over.
Yeah.
That's something I also need to work on.
But that's hard to balance because you are a selfless player.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be selfless and selfish. That's hard.
I need-
in the heat of the game.
I need to pick my moments, yeah.
That's tough. But something that you'll definitely be able to grow with. Ask Deshaun about that. Ruffin will help you out a little bit. And
Shoot.
All about it.
Red.
I mean, I don't really like talking about myself like that. But
Red, you're a good shooter, but everyone hates on your jump shot, man.
It's gonna go in.
It's gonna go in.
yeah. I mean, I think I'll probably just say, you take the best part out of my game, and I'll still affect the game. Like, I try to be a Swiss Army knife every time I'm out there. Like, whether it's like if shots not falling, like
Swiss Army knife. Ooh.
yeah, I mean, I try to be like, whether it's rebound, make an extra pass,
Yeah, dude.
box out, set a screen for somebody.
You're gonna figure out a
take
way
a
to
charge.
impact the game.
I'm gonna try and figure out a way to affect the game, whether I don't have the ball in my hand or not. And then something to work on. I mean, just probably, always want to improve defensively. Like, I'm not a bad defender, but I'm not a great defender. And I want to be able to guard like every spot on the floor, like 1 through 5, small, big guy. Like, that's probably the one thing I'll probably take with a chip on my shoulder when I get up to college is like, I'm gonna guard every person out here and make it hard for you to take me off the floor doing that.
Sweet. All right, well, thank you for watching, listening to the Nothing But Net podcast. You guys, I really appreciate you coming out. You don't know how much this means to me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is awesome. Hopefully, I'll be able to produce more of this. But really, thank you guys. And
Subscribe, like and subscribe.
but for real, congrats
Appreciate it.
on a state championship for Millbrook. It's pretty dope. So
Man, y'all go mess with Will, man.
Exactly.
Y'all sleep. He doing some good stuff
yeah,
for real.
don't sleep.
Don't sleep.
All right.